for most people, they work their entire life. Like they miss out on the things that they should have done in their 20s, in their 30s, you know. But they're using it to work, they're using it to also, they're doing 2-3 jobs. It's really not healthy. Like looking at it, to be very honest, it's really not healthy.
Actually, what you said makes a lot of sense, because at the end of the day, if we're going to work so long, we could as well be making memories along the line.
Absolutely.
Because we're not going to be 60 and say we want to take that girl's trip.
It's not going to be girls, she's going to be grandma's trip. Just people give charity the money
on the internet.
Anybody that's single, just so you're a bad person at this point.
Say what you want. Because have you seen a man not tell a woman what they want?
Real. It's a tool to control women, to say I'm bigger than you, I can do this to you. That's it about value system and standards. They cross across genders. It's not gender.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on here, welcome to the family. My name is FEMALE, and on here I create content based on lifestyle, commentary, advice. Whatever you want, we have it. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
I'm definitely up for equality of men and women, you know, because I think that from the men, we have different roles. I agree with the fact that we have different roles, you know, but there is a fundamental equality of that I absolutely stand for, you know. And I think that now that, especially in Nigeria, if you say you're a feminist or you talk about feminism, it seems like a derogatory word, like a bad word, like you're real, like it's a bad word. So I think it's something that we have to curb that feminism is not a bad, it's not a bad thing to, and young girls that try to pander to men say I'm not a feminist though. So we need to, like, think that for women like that, I try to give them some grace, and I use the word some grace because I feel like the society has done a lot of I want to say damage. I want to say some sort of a role has placed a role on them. Society has placed a role on them that they don't understand, so they need to renew their mind. So I feel like that's like to be re-educated. So I think that that's like fundamental. That's why I give women some grace in that regard. That I think if you see things like this, it will be better. You don't have to do this.
I think for me, how it started was, I would be on Twitter and I would see some ladies claim to be feminists, and the kind of tweets they are tweeting is not a feminist type of, it's more like an hatred towards men. So you would see, that's where it's like triggered men. You would be like, is this what your feminism is about? It's like about hating men, like don't want men, no men should die. You know, like they are literally some statements and they would claim to be feminists. I saw one video. The guy did not rape her. Like, I don't know what the situation was, but she just came out to say, I'm a feminist, and she does, like, that was the opening conversation. Like, I'm a feminist. He raped, like, madam, please don't use our feminism to, you know, to a wrong, like, thing, wrong situation, scenario, because you are telling men that actually maybe have some belief, like, or some support towards what feminism is. Because everybody should be a feminist. To think, if this is about accusing men wrongly, if this is about bashing all men, if this is about saying all men should be taken to the forest, they even for might as well not believe in this. So because I've had some conversation with some guys and they say, feminism like feminists hate men. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And then when they refer back to certain tweets, certain ladies, that, you know, obviously, even as a woman, we know that this one doesn't like men.
So I think that's the thing. I think with every ideology, there are differences in stance. There are differences in opinion. That there are differences in, even with feminism, there are liberal feminists. There are Christian feminists as well. There's so there are different kinds of feminism. So, and there are some people that they use feminism as a guide, as, you know, the umbrella of feminism, you know, to hate men, to say crazy things,
to speak like out of
crazy,
context,
out of bounds. It's just
something totally not.
And then people will hold that to say, this does not make sense. But that's the thing. At the same time, it still does not. I don't think it takes away from the core of feminism as well. Because I think that there's been advancement in certain areas of feminism. I understand the fact that some men will use that as an excuse to say, you people hate men. That's the thing. center of feminism is deconstructing and dismantling the patriarchy and the fact that there's no equality of men and women. That's it. And you that you are the one with the power, or you that you are on the opposite end, you will not be comfortable. It's not possible. You will not be comfortable. So for some of those men, they will not be comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think and I think we as women, we have to be okay with the fact that these people will not be comfortable and they will come for us.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So aside from the men that actually don't have like actual knowledge, which is also very important, that you educate yourself, you realize yourself what's the actual core, what the actual reason, essence of feminism is. Yeah. And not just, come and say, oh, because of somebody said this on Twitter. Do your own homework, because the internet is free. You get actual information of things, and not just be stuck on the confirmation bias of what Shade on Twitter has said about men. And really, what you said, I didn't even think about that. Like, there are actually some men that, they don't want to agree with what actual feminism is, because they don't believe that, as a woman that has the same qualifications as you are, should be given that opportunity just because she's as qualified. Like, if she's as qualified, she should get the role, she should get the job. Yeah, absolutely. And not because this is what the new feminism deals with. Not because I'm a woman, you're like, nah, she's a woman, so just because she's a woman, we're not going to offer her what she deserves. We rather go for him because he's a man, regardless of whether she has the same, even maybe higher qualifications, higher experiences, but because they feel like she's a woman, she can't be any that much. She's not even married. Then they add that one. Yeah, she's not married. Let me give you an example of even if you look at the dynamics between men that have female bosses and men that have men bosses, they even they can say, oh, there is this thing that female bosses are this and that, and that they are really terrible female bosses. But the dynamics is different, because for some of those men, they respect the men more than they respect the female bosses. Whether it's a shitty boss, because you're a man. Whether it's a shitty boss, like if it's a shitty boss, I still prefer him than being a woman, being a shitty boss. And for most people, they cannot imagine, especially for men that, especially very traditional Nigerian men, they cannot believe that a woman would be in a position higher than them. It offends their core. Like, so what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you have better qualifications than I? Yeah. Do you remember? Have you watched the movie Fairplay on Netflix? Actually, I know about this, but I've not seen it. So it's really about the man like getting jealous about his that she got a promotion. Like, even though I'm not seeing the movie, but even though she was looking out for him, wanting him to like get a better position, like speaking for him, he still ended up getting jealous of her. And like, I deserve it. You don't deserve. Assaulting her, like he raped her at some point. And then, even for like she's a very self-aware person, she stood up and actually dealt with him and left him. And it's amazing how, like, if it was him that got the promotion, she would have been equally happy for him, and not like that's the thing. That's the thing. Men are not taught how to like, in their head, women are less. So when you as a woman, you're doing this thing, they get. That's why will women not get jealous when men get this promotion? Because we were not raised as that. Yeah, we're not raised as that. So men are taught that it's the same way that how can a girl get first and you are getting second as a boy? That's why it starts from stigma. That's why it starts from that your parents will tell you that it's a girl that is taking first, you are taking second. Are you saying the girl is more? Are you saying the girl is more intelligent than you? Is that what you're saying? So from there, that is how young boys grow up to be young men that have this kind of mentality about women, and then it becomes physical. It becomes, then we have physical violence, we have sexual, because sexual violence is a way to control. It's a form of control. Sometimes I see sometimes in certain situations I see rape as a form of control. In certain situations, because I think that's what it is. It's a tool to control women, to say I'm bigger than you, I can do this thing, and sometimes you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything about it. So it's crazy. Like it's leading me to talking about parenting styles, like the way our parents raised us, and the way, like, our generation, we've been seeing it. We have a lot of Gen Z moms and dads now and we are loving it. We are loving the parenting style now.
Yeah.
You know, people are becoming more communicative with their kids, and not just shun them off, and people are allowing their kids to express themselves better, and people are also allowing their kids to know what their rights are. Like, I would use my niece for an example now. So growing up, like, my own parent did not necessarily say, "Oh, this is like, protect your body, nobody should be
touch you."
Yeah, exactly. Like, they shied away from it, I guess.
Those conversations,
No, and it's very deep. And sometimes it's not like they intentionally did not talk about it. They were not spoken to about this from their own parents too. So it's kind of weird for them. It's like they don't expect us to get to that position and figure it out, and sometimes we might be exposed wrongly to it. But I like the way, like, today, like, my niece, she's been told about a private part. There's no, you don't use funny words. Like, do not use funny words for what a private part's name is. Call it as it is. So when a stranger wants to tamper with that, they know this is wrong. They know that this is my body.
Absolutely.
So like, what do you think about the parenting style? I mean, I feel like there are some downsides to how some parents are actually raising their kids.
I think, and that's what I said about young boys. These young boys that told these things, and then they grow up to be young men that have these kinds of mindsets and all of these things. So I think it's like everything starts from childhood, and it has to do with the parents. It's literally start from childhood. How you raise your kids, how you talk to them, the differences and similarities between men and women, how you handle those, you handle your male child, how you handle, and how they see you handle each other. That's how they grow to have an opinion of women. Sometimes if you look at men that grew up with, there are some men that grew up with majority of women, they have so much respect for women, and there are some men that grew up with a lot of women and they have so much disrespect for women. So what's going on? So that's what I talk about, is the way they see you handle these issues, the way they see you handle each other, handle different kids. So I think
if they see women raise their girl child and their boy child equally, they raise them with the same love, they raise them to have the same value system, the same of like the same core values, right? And obviously they're going to learn like positively when they see that a girl child isn't treated lesser. Like whatever punishment you're giving the boy for the same, like because the offense will be different. Like some the girl, like, we literally did the same thing, but I'm being like punished, scolded,
reprimanded.
And it's like, what about him? I know some boys take that up and become fathers and become husbands to someone, and they literally use that bad parenting style. I don't know, there's something, I feel like there's actually something with parents not wanting to be as strict as they should be with their boy, like, children, because you'll be wondering what happened. Like, because I recently again I understood why the Bible said like discipline your child, because it's when they are children you can actually control how they will turn out, like positively. Because if you leave them and they are not being trained in a certain way, when they are adults you can't do much. You probably can't even do anything. But when they are children, you kind of like set that standard. You kind of put that discipline is instilled into them. Because when they are older, you can't do anything. They become like their own person. And obviously, how we were raised forms who we are.
Absolutely.
It should definitely have an effect of how we see people, how we
see life, everything.
The relationship we have with people. So what do you think it is about like parents not raising their boy children like with the same standard they raise the girl?
I think that's the thing. That's about value system and standards. They cross across genders. It's not gendered. Values and standards, they are not gendered. Saying that value system, do not steal, do not lie, they are not gendered. They are not for a specific gender. They cut across everything. So I think that there has to be, of course, there are certain things that conversations you have with your female kids you will not have with your male kids. I feel like there are some of those disparities that especially physically, in certain instances. But I feel like when you talk about standards, you talk about value system, how they see life, how they should interact with people, their relationship. I think it cuts across genders. Like it's not gendered. It's not a gendered.
So I think there should be more conversations. Like if you're going to speak to your daughter about safety and this and that, speak to this about the same thing. Like don't like take out anything out. Like be as equal as possible, so they realize that what is bad is bad. There's not anything bad because you're a boy, and there's not anything good because you're a girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not gender, like you said. That's the word. It is an human thing. Do what is right. Yeah. Like not because you're a boy or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the right thing to do. Yeah. So with all we've discussed so far, right now what we need is actually to move forward. Like what we can do to be better humans, what we can do to have the better society that we all crave and we all scream about. So what daily changes do you think you are making to bring that to life today?
I think that daily changes I'm making, I think first of all, I think that everything has to do with your mind. You have to renew your mind. And there are some of these stereotypes, some of these things that you think that you have to do as a woman, that you think there's a way you think you have to be like. So I think that those are some of these I am doing to make a change with myself, and which will have a ripple effect on how I interact with other women. And even if I want to have kids, I will interact with my kids, and even in my relationships as well. So I think that's my own day-to-day change. Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, I think for me it's the same, pretty much how I speak to people, how I interact with people, how I even educate them, because I'm quite open-minded and I like people to say everything that is on their mind, because I really want to know how your mind works. And when I see how your mind works, I'm like, okay, you actually need enlightenment on this, education on this. Don't go out there and be spinning false things, like me.
Yeah, please don't
speak early. So just making sure that moving forward, the little ones around me, the children, the young girls and guys that I'm opportune to speak to or interact with them, telling them, don't program yourself that this is how things are. No, enlighten yourself, know better, know your rights, know that do away with unlearn and relearn. It's very possible. And yes, I think little by little we'll make changes in the world. Absolutely. Because we can't do everything. We can only try within our circle. Come to the end of today's video. It was great chatting with you. Coming.
My absolute pleasure.
It was fun. We should do this.
Yes.
We should do this again.
We should.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And with that, we say bye, guys. Please make sure to
like, subscribe.
Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Share with a friend. Tell somebody. Join our family today. And from us, we say bye bye.